Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in front of us today, we're going to be doing a speed test between the newly released Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, which is Samsung's newest flagship, and the OnePlus 13R, which is still pretty newly released. However, this is OnePlus's mid-range phone, so let's see how it goes head-to-head against the S25 Ultra. Quickly talking about the specs, for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, we do have the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, so the newest flagship chipset. And on the OnePlus 13R, it's not lacking. It has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, which is last year's flagship chipset. So again, we still do have a really powerful chipset on the 13R. As for the RAM, we do have 12 gigabytes of RAM on the S25 Ultra since I am in North America. And we also do have 12 gigabytes of RAM for the OnePlus 13R. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin. So starting off the boot up test, again, these tests don't really mean too much. However, there are people that still want to see it, and so I still do conduct them. So in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and see. And since we are doing a speed test, this is a comparison between the two. I do want to talk about that display right there. The S25 Ultra is really good with that anti-glare. As you can see, it looks completely dark, unlike this one right here, the 13R, which has a lot of glare from the lights above. And as we can see, the S25 Ultra did boot up first, and the OnePlus 13R is not too far behind. Okay, so now that both the devices have booted up, we can actually go ahead and begin with our test. So first, we're going to be launching some apps. After that, we'll go ahead and compare the RAM management by relaunching all those apps and see if they've all stayed open. And then we do have a Geekbench 6 CPU benchmark and also a 3D Mark stress test, which we will do, and we will go ahead and compare the scores over there. So again, to make this as fair as possible, I did go ahead and turn on Wi-Fi for both of them. They are both connected to the same Wi-Fi, and on the S25 Ultra, I did turn off mobile data so that it doesn't connect to that and actually vary the speed between the app launching, like for example, when you load the feed on Instagram or X or even on YouTube. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin. Starting off the calculator in 3, 2, 1. That is going to be the S25 Ultra. Calendar. That is going to be the S25 Ultra again. Clock. I think that was the S25 Ultra. And again, if I do mess up anything, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Camera. I think that was the S25 Ultra. And flipping it around, that is going to be the OnePlus 13R. Instagram. Let's see. I think that was the S25 Ultra. However, they did both load a different feed. X. That is going to be the S25 Ultra. Groupon. Again, that is going to be the S25 Ultra. ESPN. Let's see which one loads in the video first. That is going to be the S25 Ultra. Amazon. Again, that is the S25 Ultra. And again, these are very close, just by a couple milliseconds, so it's not too big of a difference. eBay. S25 Ultra. YouTube. I think that was the S25 Ultra, or maybe that might be a tie because they did both start the video at the same time. Chipotle, S25 Ultra, and now we can move on to our game. So Smashy Road 1 to 2. Oh, go ahead and restart that one real quick. Smashy Road 1 to 2. Let's see. That is going to be the S25 Ultra. All right, closing it out. Temple Run 2. See, they are both on the loading screen, and it does seem like the S25 Ultra does take it. So go ahead and play the game for both of them. Go ahead and start it. Asphalt. Let's see which one loads in first. Does seem like the S25 Ultra. And again, but they are very close to each other. Dead Trigger 2, which is our final game. That is going to be the S25 Ultra, and then if we do click play in 3, 2, 1, let's see, I think that is going to be the OnePlus 13R. So again, after going into the game, the play, I have noticed that it doesn't really affect too much. It just depends on which one you tap just a tad bit faster. I think I might have tapped the 13 a little faster, and so that's why I might have loaded in first. But as you can see, they're all very close. Not just Dead Trigger 2, but every single app on here. The S25 Ultra was just a tad bit faster in most of the apps, however, barely by anything, and so I don't really think that matters too much. The main thing that really does matter is going to be the day-to-day usage, and again, both these devices are super good at that. So, going through our RAM management test, let's see, Google, I think that was a reload. Normally it just refreshes, but this time it did relaunch the whole app. So I think that was a reload. All right, so far so good. We're going good. Groupon, that is going to be a reload. ESPN, that's going to be a reload. Amazon, that's going to be a reload. I did check the optimization settings. I don't really think that there is anything else I can do with the OnePlus 13R. However, it is reloading some of these apps for some reason. Again, another reload right there. Temple Run 2, another reload. All right, continuing with Asphalt. Another reload on the OnePlus 13R. And a reload on Dead Trigger 2. So someone did comment down below about some optimization regarding the game optimization. I did check those settings, and again, I couldn't really find too much about it. I did turn off some of the optimization settings, so it should be good. And again, this is going to be in their default modes. This is how people are going to be grabbing their phones out of the box and how they're going to be using it 99% of the time. So that's why I do try and keep most of the default settings on, except for some of the optimization settings, which I do think are a little too much, like some of them were on the 13R. I did turn those off, but again, still some of the apps do reload. So the S25 Ultra does take in. So if we do go ahead and close out all of our apps, let's go ahead and recheck that. All right, everything is closed. We can go ahead and run our CPU benchmark. So go ahead and start that CPU benchmark. Once the scores are out, we'll go ahead and take a look at them. Now that both of the tests have been completed, let's actually go ahead and take a look at these scores. So starting off with the OnePlus 13R, for the single core, we do have a 2,154. As for the S25 Ultra, we do have a 2,587. However, I have gotten a higher score on the S25 Ultra. But again, for this specific test right after our app launching, this is the score we got for the S25 Ultra. As for the multi-core, we did get a 6,314 and a 9,376 on the S25 Ultra. So almost a 3,000 point difference right there. Now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and close it out and hop into our 3D Mark test, where we will be running a wildlife extreme stress test. This is around a 20-minute test where it just stress tests the device, as the name says, and then we will go ahead and examine those scores. So starting the test in 3, 2, 1. Once this is over, I will get back to y'all. Both of the tests have completed, so here's a look at our scores. Starting off, the best loop score on the OnePlus 13R, we do have a 4,760. As for the S25 Ultra, we do have a 5,676. For the lowest loop, we have a 2,747 and a 2,812. As for the stability, 57.7% and 49.5%. So the S25 Ultra is not too much more powerful in this test, at least, and the stability on the OnePlus 13R is a lot better. But if we do go down, here's a look at our performance monitoring. So our battery went from a 97 to 88% on the 13R and a 59 to 50% on the S25 Ultra. So it did go down the same amount. As for the temperature, we did go from a 36 to 47 and a 37 to 44 on the S25 Ultra, so it was cooler. And for our frame rate, 10 to 47 and 12 to 35. It seems like the S25 Ultra is not too much more powerful. I did have a previous test as well. Here's a previous one, 5,500, 2,900. The stability is better at 52%, but again, everything else is similar to the test that we just conducted. So it seems like in terms of just raw performance, the S25 Ultra might not be that powerful. It might not be as powerful as we were expecting, but again, maybe with some updates, maybe with some other things, it might improve over time. However, for now, these are the scores that we got on these tests. So that is basically going to wrap it up for this video. As always, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.